we need the Congress to act. I want to thank the House. They put $12.5 billion into the big, beautiful bill that's going to go towards this infrastructure project. That won't be enough. I'm concerned that we could have more of Newark's. And again, why it's so important that we actually begin this build with the money that Congress is going to send us.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy with the warning of more Newark's. If he doesn't get the funding, he says he needs to overhaul the air traffic control system. It's plagued by outages at airports across the country as Americans get ready for the busy summer travel season. Secretary Sean Duffy joins us now. Mr. Secretary, good to have you with us. It's been a minute. We want to also talk to you about a road trip that you're planning on taking this summer with your family. But first, let's start with Newark Airport, because the FAA has limited the number of flights going in and out of that airport, which caused the CEO of United Airlines, which is the major carrier there, Scott Kirby, to say things are finally working. Listen to what he said.
We've already seen that the leisure traffic has come back. We did take a big hit, but the leisure traffic's come back. Business is lagging a little. The fares are the best this year that they're probably ever going to be because we lost traffic. The least crowded airport now because the FAA is done. We've been asking for a decade for the FAA to manage capacity there.
All right, so things are working better at EWR, according to the United Airlines CEO, but it's just an interim fix. You've got to have more of an overhaul, and as you said in that speech, you fear that there are more Newark's out there. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so United, Scott Kirby has done a great job navigating Newark with us. Again, they have the most, as you mentioned, John, the most traffic in and out of the Newark airport. But again, there's a twofold problem here. Normally, there's about 50 flights taking off an hour out of Newark, maybe 54. Right now, we're at 28. When the runway comes online in the middle of June, we're going to get up to 34 an hour. But we have new telecom that was just laid by Verizon. They did a great job. They did it really quickly. Their CEO is fantastic. We're testing it. That's going to get flipped on by the end of the month, early July. But we have a controller problem, John. We don't have enough controllers inside of the Philly TRACON to control the airspace. And so we have some that are in training right now, but we're 3,000 short nationwide. And until we fix that, and we fix all the telecom throughout the country, are we going to get back to normal in every airport, in every airspace across the country?
All right. Well, you're a hero for being able to talk over those sirens. Mr. Secretary, great to have you on the program. So I'll ask you the question I feel like I hear everywhere right now, and are we safe to fly? I mean, if you're suggesting there could be more Newark's out there, that means there could be more outages and there could be flights at risk in the sky. So how do you answer that question?
So let me be clear. We have a number of what I'll call blips, about 100, 200 a week in the telecom system. But we have redundancies in place, and so the system is safe. There's, redundant lines, but then we have systems in place for controllers and pilots. So I feel like we're safe, but I think it's my job to look over the horizon and say, if we don't fix this right now, what's going to come if you have multiple Newark's at the same time because you lose your telecom?
What does happen?
That's a problem.
What does happen?
This is a huge part of. Well, what happens is we shut down airspace or we reduce traffic because the number one job is that we let people travel safely. Again, I want you to travel on time, Sandra. I don't want you delayed. I don't want you canceled. But the most important thing is that you get to where you're going to go. And that's why you see in Newark, we're at only 28 flights an hour right now. So it slows down. And again, this is a huge part of our economy. We move products and people and goods through the airspace. This is by far the most important infrastructure project in all the country, is to rebuild this air traffic control system in America. Again, brand new, gold-plated, state-of-the-art, best in the world.
As you pointed out, Mr. Secretary, there's two problems here. There's the aging equipment that needs to be overhauled and replaced, and then there's the chronic shortage of air traffic controllers. We had a former air traffic controller named Michael Pearson on. He points the finger of blame for the chronic shortage on the Obama administration. Listen to what he said.
The staffing issue pertains to 2013, when ideologues within the Obama administration eliminated over 3,000 well-trained collegiate training initiative students who were ready to enter the workforce. It was done specifically because of race.
So back in 2013 to 2015, the Obama administration did eliminate the merit-based system for hiring air traffic controllers to go with a different system to try to bring more diversity, equity, and inclusion into the system. And as Michael Pearson said, some 3,000 qualified candidates were booted from the program and had to start all over again. Has that problem lingered since then?
So, John, there's a number of problems that have brought us to this point. There's a pending lawsuit in regard to those controllers right now with the FAA, so I don't want to comment on that. But also COVID made us short as well. But I've increased the pipeline of students coming into the academy. Again, the best and the brightest, the highest scores get in first. And then I'm asking current air traffic controllers who have been on the job for 25 years to stay on the job. We're going to pay them a 20% bonus up front for them to stay every year beyond their eligible date of retirement. So if I increase the pipeline of new people coming in and I can keep those controllers from retiring, that's going to make up the difference as we get more controllers into the system. But this has been a problem for a long time. The Buttigieg-Biden administration didn't do anything to fix it, right? All of these problems were well known. They did nothing to make it better, and so they left it to us. We're going to fix it. President Trump cares about the airspace, cares about the controllers, and we're going to work together with the Congress to make sure that we don't pass this problem off to the next administration. It gets done. And by the way, think about this, John. You know the airspace well. Not only do we have airplanes right now, but we're gonna add drones into the airspace. We're gonna add eVTOLs, which are these Ubers in the air, into the airspace. It's going to become far more complicated. We need a state-of-the-art system to be able to handle that increased traffic when it comes online. We can't do that now, but if we do this this build, it's going to be ready for all the new uses of the airspace in the coming years.
Well, we know you are heading up those efforts, and you'll keep us posted on all the developments to improve the situation for our Americans' airways and sky. Let me ask you about why you are there today. There's a push by this White House to hit the road, take your family on a road trip. I think it's the Great American Road Trip Expo you're at today. This as gas prices are dropping. They're down from a year ago. Okay, they were at about $3.57 a year ago. We're at $3.17 now today. So, Mr. Secretary, what's the push there? And I can anecdotally say I know one family that just chose to drive from Texas to Indiana, not because they're afraid of flying, but simply just it was a price issue.
Yeah, so listen, we're about to celebrate America's 250th birthday. There's going to be a year-long celebration starting this July 4th. The president has told all departments to come up with ways to celebrate this anniversary. So at DOT, by the way, we have the best idea of all departments. We're winning the challenge. We're going to do the Great American Road Trip. So, again, you mentioned, Sandra, gas prices are down. Inflation is down. American spirits are up. And so get in the car, see our beautiful country. There's so much to see, whether it's the Grand Canyon, the beaches of California. Come see your capital. Check out your country, because to love America is to see America. And think about this too, Sandra. You have kids. We all have kids. There's no better time than spending those trips with your family in the car. Again, you put the phones away, and the things and stories that your kids will tell you and the memories that you'll make, there's nothing better. So you get to see your country, spend time with your family. And again, that's what we're doing here to celebrate America. We have 40 cars here, all made in America. What President Trump has done with tariffs are making car companies bring manufacturing back to this country, but also realign their supply chain so we get away from some of our adversaries in the supply chain that comes to the U.S. So this is a great American story led by President Trump, and we're grateful for that and celebrating that here today as we kick off our road trip for America.
So we should point out, Mr. Secretary, that you and your beloved wife, Rachel Campos Duffy, who's familiar to everyone at Fox News, have decided that you're going to take a road trip with the family. We should point out that you've got 9 children. So with everybody, that's 11
you have a
people.
bus.
What, are you going to take a bus, a semi-truck?
So John, there's one of those Airstreams, Windstreams here that I'm going to just put the kids in the back of that, hook it up to the back of the truck, and Rachel and I will be peaceful, and we'll let them sit in back of that. No, listen, I have a Suburban. I'm driving that. I'll fly a few. I'm gonna spend a couple of days with Rachel on the road. We're going to leave from the White House. I'll fly her back for Fox and Friends as I finish the trip back to Wisconsin. But the kids are excited, and we're planning out that trip right now. Again, where we're going to go, what we're going to see.
I love a good road trip, but I always feel like because of the excitement and anticipation, it's always a heck of a lot better on the way there. And you have a great trip, and then you realize you got
That's actually true.
to get back in with all the dirty laundry and head back.
100%. The way there is so exciting. The way home, Sandra, you're right. It's like we're not stopping. We're driving through the night. We're going to get home right away. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, my wife has got some grand dream to go across the country in an RV. I keep trying to delay the decision, but let me know how
Come
it
on,
goes.
John.
Maybe I'll take a cue from you.
Gas prices are down for that RV. You hop in and you travel cross country. She deserves that, right? She puts up with you. Take her across country in an RV.
I vaguely remember it was Brian Kilmeade or Stuart Varney. Somebody did a big cross country.
Kilmeade.
It was Kilmeade, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he ran into a barrier at a toll booth, as I recall. Great end to the vacation.
All right.
Don't let Kilmeade drive.
Mr.
Don't let Kilmeade
Secretary,
drive.
always good to have you on. Come back soon. Good to
Thank
have
you.
Thank you. We'll do.
We'll see you
Thanks,
again
guys.
soon.
All right.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.